So just as an FYI to everybody, we're planning to start at 11:30, but one of our speakers is running just a little bit late, so as soon as she gets here, we will be getting underway. So knock on wood, she's here soon. All right, we are about to get started. Our final speaker has arrived, so if everybody could take their seats and we'll get underway. Well, first of all, thank you to everybody for joining us today. This is a really cool day for Curling Canada, a really cool day for the city of Calgary, a really cool day for the sport of curling in Calgary and in the province of Alberta. My name is Al Cameron. I'm the Director of Communication and Media Relations for Curling Canada. Great to see a lot of familiar faces here I spent 20 years in this city and have a lot of great memories that were built up in the city. Before we get started, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the peoples of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which include the Blackfoot First Nation tribes of Siksika, the Piikani, the Kainai, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations tribes of Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. The city of Calgary is also homeland to the historic Northwest Métis and to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So with that, I would like to call upon Hal Eagletail of the Tsuut'ina Nation to open our event with a ceremony of welcome, and I would like to gift him this tobacco.
CS Gas, Al, for the tobacco offering. I noticed it's loose. Did you provide any rolling papers? No, it just isn't. I think most of us must have rolling papers in here after Trudeau made a new law. So tobacco was the very first plant that Creator had gifted the world with. And he told the indigenous people, whenever you need something from the earth or whenever you need to call upon spirit, offer the tobacco. And this is why tobacco is so significant among our indigenous cultures. So I'm going to say a prayer for the success of the announcement and the success of the event. And I've asked my daughter Cherokee to assist me with a blessing song. And as we sing this song, I just want to make mention that as Native people, we sing in the language of all living things, Mother Earth, from the grass to the heavens above, the animals, the plants, the birds. We sing in their language. That's why, as Indigenous people, we sing the way we do. Even when I mow the lawn, I'll sing that earth song, offer tobacco, and tell the grass spirit, forgive me, but we have bylaws. So this is the significance of tobacco that I always am appreciative to share. Because in Canada, there's over 600 native bands, 11 language groups. Our language group belongs to the Dene, the Athabascan, and we stretch from Alaska down to Mexico. And our language dialect originates from the Aztec language. So as we migrated north and there was just one big ice shelf, the concentration of our Dene people are located today what we call Navajo, Apache. As the ice receded on the west coast, we followed that migration to Alaska. And in the great opening through the Mackenzie River Valley, our people followed that migration route. So we have Dene, northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, British Columbia, Yukon, Northwest Territories. So just a little information of who we are. The song that we're going to render for you, it comes to us through our ceremony. And after the rendering of this song, I'll say a little interpretation of prayer, a little bit of our language, but also in English, so that you can interpret and understand the humbleness of where I'm coming from. Kakalaga, Gujanas, Tamako, Nelina, Kachinas, Chinisha, Hatatana, Sanako, Curling, Sichinisha, Guja, Hatatana, Sanako, Windsport, City of Calgary, Mako, Nelina, Province of Alberta, Atanas, Kakulaga, Canada, Sichinisha, Guja. Creator, we thank you for this blessing day, and we offer Kachina for all the wonderful people here and for the success of the future, that we may accommodate our visitors with a good heart and a good mind and a good blessing as they visit us here and leave with a good heart as well. Creator, we ask for the guiding spirits to watch over every one of our loved ones and those that are going through mental health issues. We ask for blessings from Mother Earth and all creation, that the future generation may enjoy clean air, clean water, the sustenance of the animals, the healing of the plants and medicines. We humbly ask for the blessings of all of our relatives here. Long life, good health, happiness. See us, guys. So if this is your first time to experience an Indigenous blessing prayer, you now have the rights to kiss a native. I'm just teasing. Thank you.
Where are you going so fast, Elder Eagle Tail? Thank you both very much for that. So yes, this is an announcement that we've been looking forward to for quite some time, and we're not going to hold you in suspense any longer. I'm going to call upon Amy Nixon, a former Scotties champion herself. I gave it away a tiny bit, right here from the City of Calgary and a member of Curling Canada's Board of Governors, to help you with some words that you'll be wanting to hear. Amy?
Thanks, Al. Bonjour tout le monde, and good morning. Pour de nombreuses raisons, c'est un grand plaisir de représenter Curling Canada, notre conseil de gouverneurs et notre personnel aujourd'hui lors de cette journée emballante pour le sport du curling et la vie de Calgary. For so many reasons, it is truly a thrill to be representing Curling Canada on what is an exciting day for the sport of curling in my hometown, mostly the city of Calgary. So I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. It's my privilege to announce that the 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts will be played right here in Calgary. You can block out February 16th to 25th, 2024 in your calendars and be ready to make some noise here at the Winsport Event Center. There are so many people who've worked hard to make today's announcement possible, but it really starts with our amazing friends and partners at Kruger Products. Next year will be the 43rd Scotties Tournament of Hearts. 43rd. One sponsor for more than 4 decades, which truly makes this event unique in Canadian sports. It's more than just a business investment, it's a whole culture of women's curling in Canada. The Scotties brand was special to me as a competitor. I'm wearing my Scotties jewelry right now, and it continues to be special long after I stopped playing competitively. Thank you so much to everyone at Kruger for your support of our sport and the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. The City of Calgary and Tourism Calgary made it very obvious to us very early that they would be keen to host another Canadian Curling Championship. The support and dedication of Mary Jody Gondek and Council, as well as Tourism Calgary, was profound and meaningful, and we are thrilled to make this event happen. But it wasn't just the city that wanted this event in Calgary. There was support also from the peoples of Treaty 7 territory, as well as our friends at the Alberta government. Thank you to Elder Eagletail, as well as the Honourable Todd Lowen, the Ministry of Forestry, Parks and Tourism, for being with us to celebrate today's announcement. There are some wonderful things happening for our sport in this province, and we can thank our partners and colleagues at Curling Alberta for making so many of these good things happen. They share our vision for making our sport better and more inclusive, and I'd like to thank Executive Director Jill Richard and her staff, including my friend and old teammate Shannon Kleibrink, I said old for a reason, Shan, for everything they do. I know they'll be working hard to make this event a huge success on and off the ice, and I can't wait to be there in person. Again, thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you next year right here at the Winsport Event Center.
Thanks, Amy. We've got a history with this building, as many of you know. We spent 2-3 months in this building during the bubble, and it was quite remarkable as an experience to see what Winsport did for us and did for the sport of curling by hosting our bubble events during that memorable 2021 season. The people here just went out of their way to make us feel comfortable in difficult circumstances, and I can't say enough for the people at Winsport for what you've done for the sport of curling and for our organization. So thank you sincerely, and I'd like to acknowledge that CEO Barry Heck is here. Barry, thank you so much. And I do have to give a shout out to my former boss at the Calgary Herald, the manager of communications, Dale Oviatt. Where are you, Dale? Thanks, Dale. Thanks for everything, you guys. Obviously, the City of Calgary and Tourism Calgary have done so much to make us feel welcome and bring major sporting events, not just curling, to this city. And to bring greetings from the City of Calgary, I'd like to bring up Deputy Mayor Andre Chabot.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Al. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of Mayor Gondek and my fellow members of City Council. I'd like to say, first of all, that on behalf of the City of Calgary, what a privilege it will be to welcome Canada's top women's curling teams back to the city in 2024 for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. When we last hosted the Scotties as part of the closed curling bubble in 2021, the stands sounded mighty quiet. I know we're all looking forward to hearing the enthusiastic crowd between February 16th and the 25th as we cheer on our athletes live and in person this time. Now, everyone knows Calgary is no stranger to hosting curling events. Curling, it seems, is in our blood. In fact, we were the only city in the world to have hosted all 7 of the bubble events in a single year. The Scotties Tournament of Hearts, the Tim Hortons Brier, the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships, the World Men's Curling Championships, the World Women's Curling Championships, and the 2 Grand Slams of Curling Championships. Calgary was also the site of the first World Championship held outside of Scotland in 1964. But Calgary has only hosted the Scotties twice in the event's history, in 2021 as mentioned before and during the bubble, and once before that in 1995. Therefore, it seems fitting that the world's most famous National Women's Curling Championship next year, Scotties Tournament of Hearts, will be the major event as part of the programming for the Chinook Blast 2024. The winner of this event will earn one of the first spots of the Olympic trials for the 2025 Winter Games. No matter who emerges on top, the Scotties will be a win-win-win for the players, the sport of curling, and the city's economy. This event will welcome roughly 200 athletes, coaches, officials, broadcast crews, and support staff to the city, with a projected economic benefit of $6.4 million. It will showcase Calgary to the nation with an average viewing audience of between 6 and 7 million domestic viewers, not counting about national and international viewers. Alberta may not have the most curlers in Canada, but some would argue that we may have the best. Calgary has been the training ground for many curling champions, between Cheryl Bernard, Chelsea Carey, with 13 curling clubs in the Calgary region and more than 7,500 registered curlers within a 200-kilometer radius of the city. We'll be continuing our long tradition in this exciting sport far into the future. I want to take this opportunity to personally congratulate and thank everyone who participated in this bid to host this event and for the successful achievement of that objective. The City of Calgary and the citizens are looking forward to welcoming everyone to our city, where we will work together for an exciting Scotties Tournament of Hearts in 2024. Thank you very much.
The Deputy Mayor told you a few of the reasons why so many people want to host the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. That economic impact is significant in a time of year that you don't get an awful lot of visitors, obviously. So hotels love it, restaurants love it. And other cities love it, frankly. And there was a lot of bids that were put in to host this event. Obviously, Calgary put in the best one, but I really want to acknowledge the other bidding cities that did put their hat in the ring to host this event. And we urge you to please put your hat in again in the future, because 2025 Scotties is not too far off, so we'll be all ears. But it really was an outstanding bid from the City of Calgary. And we talked about the economic impact locally, but the exposure that Calgary and the province of Alberta get worldwide is large. I mean, there's 70 hours of national television on TSN, and that goes somehow, I'm not sure how, but we get European people telling us they're watching it. Obviously, it's on ESPN3 in the United States, so there's people in the United States watching, and that's all people seeing Calgary and the province of Alberta, and that's a big reason why that we had such support from the city and also from the province of Alberta. And to bring greetings from the province, I'd like to introduce the Honourable Todd Loewen, Minister of Forestry, Parks and Tourism, to speak on behalf of the Government of Alberta.
Thanks very much, Hal. Appreciate the introduction, and I'm so happy to be here today and to take part in today's exciting announcement. In Alberta, curling is a way of life. Curling rinks dot the province's map. They function not only as sports facilities, but as community hubs and gathering places. They are some of my favorite places to go. They can be found throughout our big cities and in some of our smallest rural communities, which makes Alberta the perfect place to once again host the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. In 2021, Canada's best women's curling teams fought for the top prize here in Calgary, and they will have the chance to do it again in 2024. Returning to our province for the 11th time, this prestigious tournament will bring the curling excitement right back here to the WinSports Centre. In 2016, I attended the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Grand Prairie, so to be here today celebrating this announcement as the newly sworn-in Minister of Forestry, Parks and Tourism is an honor, and it looks like we're off to a great start. Alberta's government was given a mandate to support investment and growth in our strong tourism industry. In the 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, we'll bring a great deal of visitors to come and experience Alberta as a renowned travel destination and return home talking about how they had a fantastic trip. From inside the city to our Rocky Mountains nearby, there are plenty of world-class attractions to discover and explore in and around Calgary. We're proud to showcase the unique experiences only available here in Alberta. In fact, more people should take the opportunity to come enjoy what Alberta has to offer, which is why our province's government is working to develop a long-term tourism strategy. In conclusion, I want to thank Curling Canada, as well as Tourism Calgary and Curling Alberta, for working so hard to bring this elite event to Calgary. It is with the hardworking folks like yourselves at the helm that Alberta and Calgary will continue to shine on the world stage. Our province looks forward to welcoming curling athletes and fans with open arms in 2024. Thank you and congratulations.
You know, when we make an announcement like this, one of the first questions people have is, when can I buy a ticket? And that's a good dilemma to have. It's a really good dilemma to have. Our ticketing manager and marketing manager, Andy Henry, is with us today, and he's told me that we're probably in the new year sometime that we'll have a ticket launch of some sort, and you'll be able to get information on the Curling Canada website, curling.ca. You can also register on for the Curling Canada Collective. There's a link on that website where you'll be given advance notice of when these tickets go on sale. And also the same opportunity is there to be a volunteer. Those volunteering opportunities also will go public in the new year. I think Shannon Kleibrink will be helping to coordinate a lot of that. And again, you can sign up on the Curling Canada Collective to be notified of opportunities to volunteer. So great opportunities for so many ways to get involved with the 2024 Scotties. Tourism Calgary is an amazing organization to work with because they love curling. I mean, it's pretty obvious. They want curling events in the city, and that's why we keep coming back here. And you know when they're on board that this is going to be a successful bid, and it was indeed. And I'd like to introduce Carson Ackroyd, the Senior Vice President of Sales from Tourism Calgary, to speak on behalf of tourism.
Thanks, Al. Very much appreciated. And we go after curling events, not because I play 3 times a week and love the event. But it's a great event for the city in general. And I'd like to just acknowledge Cheryl Bernard today, who, in addition to being a famous curler, is a Tourism Calgary board member. So thanks for being here today to support Cheryl. It's great to have you here. And good morning, everybody. I'm really excited about this announcement for all the reasons that the speakers have talked about. But I was fortunate enough to work very closely with the Curling Canada team on the bubble that came to Calgary in 2021. And Al and Nolan and Danny and Catherine and the whole team at Curling Canada, I'd like to acknowledge them. They are a nation-leading sport organization. To do what they did for their athletes in 2021 when so many groups couldn't get anything off the ground is a real tribute to them as a sport organization, and what they did for their athletes in the elite program was absolutely amazing. Working with them to bring that event here and having 7 back-to-back events and partnering with WinSport to make that happen was truly remarkable. And it certainly made all of us want to bring an event back to Calgary where we could actually have spectators come out and not have all the players locked in their rooms every night. And that was a challenge for the athletes and for many folks, but Calgary is a very warm and welcoming place, and we can hardly wait for them to come here and experience some of our hospitality. And certainly this event will be taking place, as Councillor Chabot said, during our winter festival, Chinook Blast. And what's going to be so special about this piece is that during Chinook Blast, we're going to have many visitors here for our winter festival that are going to get exposed to curling and get a chance to come out and come to the Scotties as part of that mix. And in the same vein, all the fans that travel around the country every year to see the Scotties are going to get to come to Calgary and then experience a festival. So we couldn't be more excited. It's going to create a new marketing platform for the Scotties and drive incremental ticket sales. So we're excited to work with Curling Canada on that piece. And then just sort of 2 last pieces from me. You know, when we put these events on and we go after them and trying to win them for the city, we can't do them alone. And I know a few of these folks have been mentioned. I talked about Curling Canada and the great work that they do and partnering with us. But I also want to chat a little bit about Curling Alberta. We've partnered with them on so many curling events to come to the city, and they work with all of the local clubs to help get the volunteers organized and are a key partner. We could not bring these events to Calgary without them. So thank you for all the work that you do, Curling Alberta. The government of Alberta has consistently invested in major events to bring to the province. And I can tell you, and I'd like to thank you, Mr. Lowen, for being here today. I know it's a commitment to come down and support this, but the investment that the province makes really makes Alberta a leading province in sport tourism across the country. And these events mean a great deal to this city. The 6 million plus in economic impact makes a big difference to our local businesses and makes Calgary the eventful city that it is. So I'd like to thank you for your continued commitment to that. It makes a big difference, and it will be fantastic to welcome these great athletes back to our city in 2024 in person. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Carson. Yeah, that 21 bubble, yes, you just brought it all back in my room and in the rink. Repeat for 80 days, it seemed like. It was quite an experience, but yeah, lots to be proud of from a lot of people, and we'll be looking back on that for a long time. You know, this city has a pretty amazing history of women's curling, curling in general, obviously, but I want to shout out to the women here, and I introduced Amy right away. Of course, she's a former Scotties champion, a member of our Board of Governors. Shannon Kleibrink has done so much for curling, represented us at the Olympics, obviously, and has played in the Scotties a number of times. Cheryl Bernard, obviously an Olympic silver medalist as well, played in the Scotties a number of times. And Susan Seitz, I'm really pleased to have you with us today, 1981 champion. And I've got a bit of news for you, by the way, that you don't know about, but this will be news for you. So the Scotties trophy traditionally only had the plaque of winners from 1982 on, which is when Kruger Products took over. We're adding a base and including all of the winners prior to 1982. So your team will be on that Scotties trophy starting this season. We're getting long overdue, and I'm really happy to see that happen. And that also means a couple other former Southern Alberta teams, Myrna McQuarrie's team from 1977 from Lethbridge, and a couple teams from Edmonton, Team Hazel Jameson from 1968, Team Gail Lee from Edmonton 1966. They will be added to that Scotties Tournament of Hearts trophy, which is very cool and great for Alberta curling because it does have such a rich history. And they're making history. They continue to make history, and a great deal why for that is their executive director, Jill Richard. And I'd like to bring Jill up to say a few words on behalf of Curling Alberta.
Thanks, Al, and thanks to everybody for being here today. Curling Alberta is grateful to all the partners who will play a role in bringing the 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts to Winsport next season. Our sincere thanks to the province of Alberta, the city of Calgary, and Tourism Calgary for their continued commitment to protecting and enhancing the quality of life in the local community and beyond, and for graciously opening your doors to our sport. Thank you for recognizing the positive impact that hosting sport events, both big and small, has on sport development and tourism while allowing our athletes to compete at home. To the people that will bring it all to life, our local organizing committee, the good people at Winsport, the community curling centers in and around Calgary, and the many devoted volunteers, we know that you will host this event with both gratitude and pride. There will be a tremendous amount of work poured into hosting this event, and we know that you will provide a truly memorable experience for our fans and our curlers. Of course, it needs to be recognized again that the event's title partner, Kruger Products, has stood arm in arm with our curling community for over 4 decades, the longest national corporate sponsor of amateur sport in Canada, and we are beyond grateful for their passion and their loyalty. I'd also like to thank Curling Canada for the opportunity to welcome the country's best female curlers to our province on Treaty 7 territory. The entire curling community is eager to get behind this event with you to make it the best yet. For curling in Alberta, this event will be a catalyst of activity and excitement, a true inspiration, and we cannot wait to see who will win the title of Team Canada. We wish our curlers a safe and successful journey to the 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts and look forward to seeing you all next season at Winsport.
Well, there you go. That's the good news. I hope you all would share our excitement at what's going to be taking place in February of 2024. So that does conclude the formal portion of our announcement today. Media folks, if you want to scrum anybody, let me know and we can set that up. Otherwise, thank you all for coming out and joining us today, and we'll see you right out there in February of 2024. Thanks, everyone.